Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of our Dragon Age the Veilguard Let's Play. My name is SlytherinKnight, and I'm so happy you could join me. So, in this episode, we are finally getting back on track with the words of the wolf. You know, getting back into the main story, because there's not really anything else for us to do. We've gotten all of our companion quests done for the most part. There's no questing to be done in Docktown, nothing in the Hossberg wetlands, nothing in the Necropolis, nothing in Treviso, or Ravane, or Arlington Forest. So we are ready to continue. Yeah, everything's good. Everything's good. There are some chests that I've missed. Like, there's apparently 3 in the Necropolis that I don't know where they are. I wouldn't think I missed them in Blackthorn Manor, but there's always that chance. Hossberg Wetlands, there's 4 I missed. Again, I have no idea where they might have been. Got everything in Docktown. We missed 1 in Arlington, and I do know where that one is. And again, it's just because I was dumb, didn't think that I could. Maybe I'll be able to go back there. I do think the ones I'm missing in the Hossberg Wetlands are an area that we haven't gone to yet, because there's still 17% of the wetlands we've not discovered. And same thing with Arlington, there's still 5% that I've not looked into, so I don't know what that is. But Ravane is done. Treviso has 2 we're missing. Again, there's 13% undiscovered, so again, that tells me we're not done yet. So, anyway. No need to keep stalling. Let's just, let's go talk to Solus and see what words of wisdom he has for us. All right.
The Dalish prisoners escaped safely?
We got them away free and clear.
Good. Whatever my frustrations with them, it feels good to have helped my people again. Thank you for allowing me to help. Chance to infuriate Elganan was a reminder of simpler times.
You said you found the Dalish frustrating. Why is that?
It is unfair to them. I lived for thousands of years, and after I imprisoned the Evanuris, I slept for thousands more. I awoke in a world that had forgotten the ancient times almost entirely. And those who tried to remember elven history, like the Dalish, had gotten so much wrong.
I suspect them calling Elganan and Gillenane and all the rest gods didn't go over well with you.
Indeed. To see that the history the Dalish worked so hard to preserve was the propaganda of tyrants was vexing. I tried to explain the truth to one clan. When I convinced them that I was truly Fen'Harel, they attacked me. After that, I hid my explanations behind the facade of having witnessed events in the Fade.
And every mage knows that what we see in the Fade might not be literally true.
Yes. The Dalish had no reason to believe me. I could only watch as they continued to worship Elganan, though we may have seen the last of that tradition, at least.
You and Elganan were really tearing into one another back there.
I needed to goad him to anger in order to distract him.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, while all of the Evanuris were monsters in their own ways, Elganan was the worst. Or perhaps it is more honest to say that his were the faults I found most objectionable. You have met him now, heard his voice hammering at the doors of your mind, and you have met me. Can you see how he and I might frustrate one another?
You're both you're like angry brothers. I don't think he'll like that comparison.
He uses his power to crush any opposition?
Yes. He is far more powerful than I am, and he wields that power like a graceless bludgeon. When I defeat an enemy, it is because I outsmarted them, because I was right. When he does, it is only because he was stronger.
Outsmarting someone and being right aren't exactly the same thing.
Aren't they?
All right. I can see how you and Elganon would hate each other.
He has always been what I most feared becoming. Callous and uncaring, his arrogance unchecked. To have that much power and no one to remind him that he could be wrong.
Well, he had you.
And I suppose I had you.
We would have had a hard time getting out of there without your help.
I did not spend this long preparing you only to lose you to Elganon's machinations. No, I am sorry. That was poorly said. You have earned better from me.
Okay.
When we first met, I saw you only as a foolishly confident child who disrupted my plans. You were an irritant. I gave you information to oppose Elganon out of necessity, but I expected you to be nothing more than a tool. Seeing you with your team, I was wrong.
Excellent.
I appreciate you saying that. Couldn't have been easy.
The only thing worse than being wrong is realizing it, but being afraid to change.
Fair.
Elganon's pride is no greater than mine, but he denies any failure on his part, and I at least try to acknowledge my mistakes. Your team trusts you, and you listen to them. It is impressive and enviable. It took me centuries to build such a bond during my rebellion, and when I served the Inquisition, I try to avoid entanglements.
What about the Inquisitor? Does she not count as a friend?
She does. One of several I grew fond of despite myself when I was with the Inquisition. There was also Cole, a spirit of compassion I helped adapt to our world. He was the only one who knew who I really was. I miss him a great deal. Josephine, the Inquisition's ambassador, was a bastion of kindness and decency in a world that looked down on elves and apostates. Even Cassandra Pendergast of the Order of the Seekers. She was what a believer should be. Faithful, practical, committed to serving, not ruling. I suppose I did bond with the Inquisition after all, as you have with your team.
Thank you for sharing that. So, what comes next? What are the gods going to do?
Elganon and Gillenane are preparing the dagger they will use for their ritual to pierce the veil. Elganon's power is tied to light and darkness. He will need to perform a ritual during the next eclipse.
That gives us some time to prepare.
It is likely to be your last chance to do so. You must be ready for whatever comes, for this world and for the team that trusts you. I know that you will do everything in your power not to fail them.
So now Elganon's recovered his own archdemon, and the gods only need an eclipse to complete their dagger.
We saved the Dalish, though. That's important.
But now Elganon's immortal, so long as his archdemon lives.
And we all know how hard those things are to kill.
We killed Razikale, didn't we?
After losing hundreds of wardens. And it took a centuries-old trap to do it. We don't have either of those. Not anymore.
Just when you think the tide's in your favor, it turns right back.
Okay. We always knew this was going to be hard, right? And yeah, maybe it's a little harder now. More than a little. But either we stop this, or all of Thedas falls. So we see it through. All the way. Because no one else is going to.
Nice speech, Rook. But it's hard to complete a contract if you don't know where the target is.
We found the gods before.
Not without help, we didn't.
So we get help again. We've got allies everywhere now.
I'm just going to say ideas, anyone, because I'm not entirely sure what that's referring to. I know the Venatori probably are not happy with Elganon because he sacrificed a lot of them, but I don't know about that. How about ideas, anyone?
I can think of a few options, but I'm open to suggestions.
Wardens have run dry. Nothing new is moving in the deep roads.
And the Veil Jumpers couldn't find any trace of Elgranon or his archdemon.
The crows may have something. The Antam are moving large quantities of supplies out of the city. Weapons, armor, gadlock. And several storehouses worth of food, what little we had left. It's enough to feed the Antam Navy for 3 months. Or all of Treviso for 6 weeks.
Given the timing, it seems unlikely to be a coincidence.
Wherever those supplies are headed, that's likely where we'll find the gods. Any more details from the crows, Lucanus?
They said the Antam have long work ahead. We have time. Also, Biago would like a meeting.
Good.
At your earliest convenience. From him, that means important, but not yet urgent.
We've got options for what we do next. Figuring out where the Antam are taking those supplies should put us on the gods' trail. That said, the Venatori aren't up to anything good in Minrathous.
Not to complicate things, but the Inquisitor also wants to meet Rook.
Naturally.
Right. With everything she's been doing in the south, we owe her an update.
I'll let her know.
Today could have gone better, but it could have gone much worse. We fought off the Venatori and rescued the Dalish. That's a win by any standard. Rest up, and be ready to go. Next time the gods appear, let's make sure it's the last.
I guess I could have done this at the end of the previous story mission, but kind of glad I didn't. Oh my god. For the love of Treviso. That's one. We also have Legacies and Legends, which has to do with the Inquisitor. And now we've got quests. Because why wouldn't we? Nothing from our companions, just whatever this is and whatever this is. Which I have a feeling will probably coincide. New quest in the air might coincide with that. That should be done. Nothing in Arlethan. New quests in the area of Docktown, same thing. Okay, nothing in Treviso, but except for the main quest line. And nothing in Ravane. So let's obviously, yeah, these are our new main quest lines. We'll probably do this one after For the Love of Treviso because I want to do Treviso before we do Legacy and Legends. Just because I'm hoping that like continuing the story in Treviso will help to finally unlock Lucanus's Hero of the Veilguard status. Something I don't have yet, and I would like to get it. But yeah. So let's see. We got a fair bit of time left. What is everyone at? Lucanus, Niv, and Tosh are all at 8. Not too worried about it. So let's pick up this. See what this is. Yeah. So yeah, the quest in the Hosbergs is probably this. This is probably the song that he was hearing. Something's coming. And this one is in Docktown. Oh, wait, what? From the failure. And yeah, that one's in Docktown. The Soul of a City. So that actually might be the final quest for them. I think we'll do that first. Yeah, because like I said, we got a bit of time. We're only 14 minutes in. I don't really want to wrap things up just yet. So we have Docktown and Hosbergs. This one probably is a bit more involved, and this is probably pretty involved as well. But let's do this one. Alright, now let me look at my companions real quick. I might want to take Niv for this. more so because why not? Does she have a... She does have a heal, so I would have a heal here, which is awesome. I might take her and Lucanus. Just help them, because this has got to be dealing with Venatori. They both hate Venatori, so why not, right? Alright. Ah, man. I always clear out of that without, you know, because I forget you have to be on that menu to be able to do. Anyway. So like I said, let's go with Lucanus. And if they actually work well together, he can apply Sundered, she can detonate Sundered. What about her other ability? That can apply Weakened, Glacial Pace. Yeah, I'm upgrading Glacial. Why is Blizzard activated? That is something I've not really done, is look at, like, to make sure they have the proper abilities, you know, put on. Anyway, so like I said, we'll go with these two. The two of them are also dating, so maybe there'll be some interesting conversations. Oh, I also changed up my look again. The staff I'm wielding, if you remember the candle hops that you can find in Docktown, there's plenty of guides online, but if you find all 7 of them, you get this unique staff. Again, for a mage, I'm not sure how it works for other characters. And this is the deluxe, the deluxe edition gear that's supposed to be for a mage. I'm willing to try it out for a little bit. Already don't really like the cape.
Got people clear before trouble hit.
But anyway.
Looks on me.
You spend far too much time here, Dorian.
This is where all my favorite people are.
Wait.
Besides, I have news. And every messenger bird I've met is dreadful at nuance.
Wait, isn't Dorian... Dorian is from Inquisition, isn't he?
The damn Venatori up to no good again?
What else? The cult lost people in Alathan, and leadership has fallen to Knight Commander Lenos. He aims to bring the city to its knees.
But Minrathous is already falling apart.
I know. While the Varantis' attack on the city could have been much worse, the people's fear in the aftermath is palpable.
And the rumors about the Archon are true. He's dead. Assassinated during the Dragon's rampage. The palace has tried to keep the news from spreading until a new Archon steps up.
And no one has?
No one dares. Not with the Venatori circling like vultures. The risen gods are preparing for something big. And for that, they need fear. Chaos.
Just tell me how I stop them. What are they planning?
That's the problem. I don't know. But we'll find out. Lenos is the key to all of it. First, we stop what he's planning for Minrathous.
And then we find out what the gods are preparing for.
Let's hope it stays that simple. One of Lenos' Venatori associates is often at the Cobbled Swan. Let's see what we can get from him.
We? Dorian, you can't be going yourself.
It's the Swan. Everyone goes to the Swan.
I'll head out right now.
Cobbled Swan's also where we need to meet the Inquisitor. Yeah, it takes you to getting all the candle hops, opens up this area. I'm trying to decide if I want to pause things and switch, because yeah, looking at this gear in the light, not my favorite. Yeah, hold on for a moment. Hold on. And we're back. Ended up switching back to the rogue version of it. It's not bad. There's actually, I was looking through some of the styles that I don't have access to at the moment, and one did catch my attention, but I don't know how to get it.
We really need to figure out the god's big plan. Dorian thinks Knight Commander Lenos is part of it, so let's track him down first.
Because I don't think, because they're not selling it here.
Keeping safe.
Not that I know of. Oh, wait, maybe they are right here. No, that's no. So I have that already. There's a set of battle robes that I'm looking for. that that I'm not seeing, which really is kind of annoying, but anyway, it's something I'll keep an eye out for.
Come back anytime.
But anyway, I've checked some of these merchants. They're not selling what I'm looking for as well, but I always check. They do have stuff. They have appearances for some of your weapons. It's always good. It's always good.
You don't sleep much, do you?
More than you, but little enough.
But anyway.
Still looking over everything on Aelia.
If you need fresh eyes, I'm awake anyway.
Maybe, if you don't mind the company. It comes with wisps.
Wisps are nothing. Besides, you're better company than spite.
Really?
Alright, I'm kind of done with their talking. See, this is the problem. I'm hoping that this doesn't immediately start the, start that, so we might have to wait on Soul of the City. We'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping there's...
All the contracts I did in Tevinter, and I never did find out who paid for them.
You think it might have been the Shadow Dragons?
If someone else wanted the Venatori dead enough to hire me, I bet they'd know about it.
We probably shouldn't keep Dorian waiting too long.
Hopefully there's a... Yes, there is a activate. Because it's a meet with the Inquisitor. Good, I'm glad.
There's Dorian.
There's Lenos's associate. According to the shadows watching him, he's nervous and doesn't talk much, but does odd jobs for coin. Interesting, yes? I'll draw him off, you check his belongings, see if you can discover any clues about Lenos's plan.
Half-eaten stale bread, water flask, muddy socks. Mostly gone. Warm. I don't even know what this is. Ale? Looks like he's been nursing it a while. A bedroll. It's definitely seen better days. And it's damp. Sleeping out in the rain?
There's also that map.
This all sounds like trouble.
What are you poking about
Dorian
bear
will wanna
for?
know.
Oh, look at that. Damage increase. Take that.
Enjoy.
Again, things to look out for. Merchants, they could have some interesting stuff. Oh, so we're actually starting the quest now.
Lenos intends to destroy the city with Blight and Darkspawn.
Carthus. Nothing like an attack to cause chaos in a city.
You should head there immediately.
All right, let's go.
Oh, just throw me right into the waterworks. Okay. Which is in an area, a new area, technically. Fantastic. Let's look around.
Eyes open.
Oh, hello. Oh, he's behind a wall.
How's that?
It's not what I meant, but I forgot I don't have her heal equipped, so I'm gonna have to switch that. Completely forgot about that. Yeah, once Niv fully recovers, I will switch over to her heal, because again, I completely forgot I didn't have it equipped. So bear with me for a moment. I'm hoping I can find the upgrade. I'm hoping I can find an upgrade for my my grenade belt, Shadow's Grasp here. That'd be awesome. Instead of having to get the Shadow Dragons all the way to level 10, or to shop rank 4. Because they do have it there, I can purchase it, but I'd rather not. There. Now, heal me.
All set.
Well, that doesn't sound good, does it?
Got company.
Alright, another big boy. Or automaton, whatever you want to call them. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright. We're getting there. The only thing I'm missing now, like I said, is the grenade belt. Get that up to legendary, and then all of my kit is legendary. Except for the unique dagger, but I don't really... Yeah, unique's its own thing. And besides, if I want to, I always have a legendary dagger I can switch over to, if I don't really like this one. What's the point of this? Another way up, I guess?
Something tore through these gates. Something big.
Got biting thumb up to legendary? That's not a bad one if you're a rogue that can actually focus on weak points.
We're not alone.
So is that thing alive?
I'll make this quick.
The heck? What's wrong with this guy?
Now there's a nice shot.
I mean, seriously, what's going on with this guy here? No idea. He's just standing there, menacingly. Okay.
Watch out. I bet this darkspawn was what tore through the gates.
Okay, so he's just frozen? What is going on? This is weird. That was weird. Very strange, but... I mean, I get the feeling...
More blight in the way.
I mean, I get the feeling he was supposed to be there to attack us.
We can get through now.
Think there's enough of them?
Death is too good for you.
Rude.
Snipers!
Can I jump up, please? Thank you.
Hey, Rook! Nice shot!
Everything's crumbling down here. Might be tricky to get out.
At least a dozen people have been lost trying to map this place. Thought I'd mention that.
We need to find the other boil. Find the blight boils. We need to clear the way and keep pushing.
Well, wait, is there a way down? And the game is kind of... It's hinting that there's something... Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe we'll circle back around.
We got it. Way should be clear.
Shadow dragons? How did you find this place? Venatori, to me! Do you think you've won? Do you think you can stop the Venatori? Or the risen gods?
I won't give up the city to them. Or to you.
The Shadow dragons have brought nothing.
One less corrupt Templar in Minrathis.
Can't say he'll be missed.
Let's look around. See what we find.
That was a lot easier than I feel like it should have been.
In Treviso, we have a tale of a masked man who lived in the bowels of the city.
Sitting in the sewer and consumed with lust for a noble woman he couldn't have.
You know the story.
We have the same one in Minrathis.
That sounds like some Fan of the Opera stuff. Treasure room?
The Risen God's ritual. That's what the gods in the Venatori are preparing for.
Trying to find the next eclipse.
These star charts predict an eclipse. To make magic stronger.
So that's the play. A ritual performed under an eclipse to strengthen its power.
Seems about right.
Lenos's documents. They detailed Venatori's long-term plans and what they want to do with Tevinter. All this. The ritual, the eclipse, and the Venatori plans. We have to bring this to the Shadow Dragons immediately.
We need to tell the Shadow Dragons what we found.
Evil old gods, rituals, waiting for the stars. It's about as Tevinter as blood magic and hubris. Learning about the gods' plans is wonderful, of course. But the lists of magisters you got your hands on, now there's the real gold.
You've looked at it already. Of course you have.
Information on their backers, the ties to illegal slavery. Don't you see what this means?
This is power, May. Imagine becoming Archon and using this against those who've been hurting the people for years.
You? On the throne? Dorian.
Tell me that wouldn't be a splendid way to bring about real change.
The Shadow Dragons have heard that before. After Corypheus, with the Lucerni. We expose corruption and stop slavers, but nothing really changes. What makes you think it'll be different this time?
Surely you're not suggesting we give up entirely. After all, you're still here. The rot in Tevinter is buried deep. We've been digging it out bit by bit, only for it to grow back. But what you've given us allows us to strike at the heart.
So the rot has no chance to return. But how would you use this information exactly?
Dorian wants to use it to crush our enemies by whatever means necessary. I prefer to use it to rally the people. I say we make the information known. Allow the people to see the real justice served. Prove that from now on, we work for them.
We tried that already. Or have you forgotten the Lucerni? I no longer trust that political machine will work in our favor. No. We must get at the root of the problem before they can react. A more forceful approach. Destroy them and their networks utterly.
Swords and spies and blackmail? The devious means you learned in the South? If we go outside the system, we invite everyone else to do the same. No, we have to do this in the open. Show the people of Tevinter that we're here for them.
We're Shadow Dragons. It's right there in the name. You supported this because you knew the system didn't work for the people.
The point was to work in the shadows until we could work in the light. And Rook has brought us what we need.
May, the Imperium's politics burned you once and you still...
Enough. We're not the only ones who have a stake in this.
Crap.
Rook, we're talking about your city. Your Tevinter too. Which strategy do you prefer?
So I want to ask some questions.
Shouldn't you be on the same side?
We are on the same side. We both know what Tevinter needs. How best to get it, that's the question.
If we went with Dorian's plan, I'd support it fully. But we won't, because he'll come around and realize that I'm right.
And I'd absolutely back you up on that, if you were right, which you aren't.
We'll see.
Will we?
I mean, seriously. Neither, I mean, it's like, her idea is like the founding principles of the Shadow Dragons, but can you truly trust that to work if it hasn't worked before? Dorian is very much going at the idea, he's more thinking like the crows. Go in, kill all the bad people, and then, which I don't know how the public would react to that, so it's like,
What sort of change are you trying to achieve?
For a start, slavery. Abhorrent. It needs to go no more.
Of course.
And Tevinter has been ruled by the Altus Mages for all of its history. That must change. The Zoparati, non-mages, deserve a say in their own governance.
And all that's just the beginning of what will undoubtedly be a long journey.
Dorian, are you really suggesting violent revolution?
Not necessarily. Sometimes a mere threat of violence is sufficient.
He learned that from his friends in the south. I hear Ferelden settled a succession crisis with a duel.
It worked. Astoundingly.
We're not Ferelden.
I'm merely saying we need to consider bold and creative methods of achieving our ends. The game is rigged. Why play by rules crooked magisters already exploit? Clear the board and start over. If they're gone, we can fill the magisterium with those who respect the office. Then we'll actually see progress.
Mevaris, you really believe making this evidence public will work?
Dorian wants to work behind the scenes, but once again, it's the Magisters and Highbloods pulling the Imperium's strings. That doesn't inspire. It's a tactic used by our enemies. We need to show to Winter that we can be different.
Unless they find some way to bury it? Or leverage their wealth, power, and status as they often have before?
Politics is a long game. If we use force against our enemies, our allies will remember it.
You want me to choose who'll be Archon? Sure, I'm a shadow dragon, but there are so many others here.
Then talk to them. Ask what they think. Asher and Tarquin, Nev, Gallus, they're all a part of this, just as you are. We should all be comfortable with whatever course we take.
All right. I'll go do that.
Ugh. It's very much like I genuinely don't know.
Grand news about Lenos. One less crooked Templar in town.
The city will be better off with him gone.
We can hope.
Lenos made my life miserable. Rana's too.
I hear he started out different. Maybe he once cared about something other than gold. But I didn't know that, Lenos. And I'm not going to mourn the one I did. Still, I'll thank the bastard for writing everything down. And delivering it to us all neat.
Dorian and Mevaris still have to decide what to do with everything we got from Lenos.
They both make good points. I just want what's best for our city and its people.
I suspect this decision will determine Tevinter's path for years to come.
Then Dorian's way is my choice. He knows you don't stop to talk when you find a hole in the enemy's defenses.
Dorian is a brash rebel.
And Mevaris too much of a romantic.
I think the people will appreciate Mevaris returning as the leader they've always wanted to see.
No. They'll appreciate their lives actually changing for the better.
What do you think might happen depending on who leads?
With May, she gets power back again. Gets one more shot at changing Tevinter from the top down. Worst that could happen is nothing. But that's what you risk when all you rely on is hope. But with Dorian...
We could get chaos, strife. Things might get harder before they get easier. If they get easier.
I'll take my chances.
And whoever leaves will have the Shadow Dragon support, right?
Count on it.
We'll keep fighting. For Dorian. Or for Mevaris.
What else is there to do in this town, anyway? It rains all the damn time.
Alright, Nev, what you got?
So what do you think?
Lenos is gone. We got information about the Venatori's plans, the god's ritual. I'd call that a good day.
I meant about Mevaris and Dorian. We all want change. Who will be the more effective in getting it?
Oh, that. You're dragging me into it?
It's as much your city as it is mine.
Mevaris Talani has been in this game for decades. She's dedicated and ruthless when she needs to be. Dorian Parvis is a wild card. Flashy and inventive, he'll keep his enemies on their toes. But if you're asking me, I'd go with Mevaris. She'll inspire people, show them that the Magisterium can be better than it is. Right now, after the gods and everything else, that's what this city needs. What we all need.
Thanks, Nev. That helps.
That's what I'm here for.
And that will determine my answer. I will go with Maevaris. If we had gone with Niv's other choice for her hero of the Vanguard, hero of the Veilguard, she would have said Dorian. But because I want her to inspire hope amongst the people instead of protect Minrathous, she went with Maevaris, and I'm going to go with Maevaris as well.
Maker.
2-1.
A full quarter of the Magisterium supporting a cult. Bending the knee to these risen old gods just for a taste of more power. Can they not see they're only tools for the gods? So they can destroy the world?
Demanding intelligence, rationality, and self-awareness from our peers. You ask too much, Maevaris.
Look at me. Such a fool.
Ah, it's Rook. You spoke with the others.
What do you think? Who should be leading the charge from here on?
Wait, there's more questions?
I hope this signals the start of the change we've worked toward.
The start of the change, as you say. Things won't be different overnight.
But we'll keep fighting, because we have to, because there's no other way.
And with you and everyone here, we'll get there. We'll win. Keep believing, Rook.
What happens after it's decided who'll lead?
Well, Lenos is gone, the cult's numbers are down, and they're scrambling to prepare for the god's ritual. They'll be distracted. It's a perfect opportunity to get our preparations in order.
All plans contingent on surviving the current disaster, of course.
Maevaris should lead.
I will not squander the opportunity. That is my promise to you all.
And May will have my full support, of course. For when enemies get in our way.
They will. It is Tevinter, after all.
The risen gods are still causing chaos. The people will need your voice to keep them fighting.
Oh, they will fight. This city has strength enough to stand against any so-called gods. We will win the day, and after that, we will win a brighter Tevinter for all of us.
I hope so. I genuinely hope so. I don't think that's the one I'm looking for. But yeah, I genuinely hope so. Alright, that I believe is where we're going to wrap things up for today. I'm going to check something real quick. We got, this set. If we equip it and change the look. Yeah, it's the one with the cape. I don't like the cape. I'm hoping to find the battle robes that don't have the cape. I really want to see what those look like, but yeah, let's switch back to our best gear. Anyway, like I was saying, that, my friends, is where we're going to wrap things up. If you enjoyed this episode, which I do sincerely hope you did, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button down below. And if you happen to be new to the channel, hello, welcome, and please do consider subscribing. And to stay up to date for whenever new content is released, don't forget to hit that bell icon after you subscribe. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you all next time.